What would you do if you walked into your own home and caught your husband and your so-called bestie wrapped up in your sheets like a bad rom-com? Because that's exactly what Yandy Smith just walked into. And honey, Atlanta has officially lost its sanity. This isn't love and hip-hop anymore. This is love in handcuffs. According to the latest online meltdown, Yandy didn't just catch Mendeecees slipping. She caught him snoring beside Ashley, the same woman she once called Sis. And let's just say, the second Yandy kicked open that bedroom door, hell didn't clock out. It picked up a double shift. Was this a setup, a trap, or karma collecting receipts from a man who thought he could cheat the algorithm? Phones were out, neighbors were yelling, and by the time cops rolled up, the damage was done. Yandy's marriage wrecked. Ashley's reputation charred. Mendeecees, well, he'll need more than a PR miracle to clean this up. Stick around, because the videos, receipts, and emotional fallout will make you rethink everything you believed about loyalty, fame, and betrayal. It started as a calm Atlanta night and ended like a deleted Tyler Perry scene on caffeine. Because while Yandy Smith was out handling business, her business was literally being handled in her own damn bed. When she saw Mendeecees and Ashley tangled like a Netflix and betrayal special, peace didn't just leave. It sprinted out faster than a love and hip-hop reunion fight. Now, before we wade deeper into the madness, let's set the scene. Yandy, the queen of composure, the boss who built an empire on loyalty and love. Mendeecees, the reformed husband with smooth excuses and messy habits. And Ashley, the trusted friend turned stylist turned snake. Congratulations, folks. You're looking at a love triangle messy enough to make Zeus himself log off. That would make even Zeus lean back and say, "Nah, this is straight up messy." But apparently, that's exactly what went down. Sources say Yandy Smith had been sensing something off for weeks. Late-night calls, shady texts, half-baked excuses, the classic "it's not what it looks like" playlist. Except this time it was exactly what it looked like. On that fateful night, after ending a meeting early, Yandy came home ahead of schedule, only to feel something was off. The lights were low, the house too quiet, and Mendeecees' phone, normally superglued to his hand, was lying face down on the counter. First red flag. The second? Her dog, who never barks unless something's wrong, scratching at the bedroom door like it had the receipts. The third? A muffled laugh, a woman's laugh coming from her bedroom. Yandy froze, heart racing, hands trembling, brain spinning. Maybe it was the TV, maybe a call on speaker. But then came Mendeecees' voice, low, familiar, followed by Ashley's giggle. And that was it. According to insiders, Yandy kicked that door open like a detective with a warrant, and what she saw could have broken the internet. There they were, Mendeecees and Ashley, tangled in her designer sheets like the world's worst plot twist. Witnesses claim Yandy stood there frozen, just long enough for betrayal to register. Then that signature calm she's famous for? Gone. Replaced by pure volcanic rage that made even Mendeecees look like a man watching his life collapse in real time. She didn't scream, not yet. One insider told an Atlanta gossip blog, she just stared. The silence was so thick it felt like the air was holding its breath before the storm hit. And when she finally spoke, she didn't just come for Ashley, she came for everything. The late nights, the lies. The girls' nights that were really cover stories for Ashley texting Mendeecees under fake names like Terry from accounting. What came next? Straight chaos. Ashley scrambled out of bed babbling the classic, "It's not what it looks like," which, let's be honest, always means it's exactly what it looks like. Mendeecees tried to play peacemaker, tripping over his own shorts, mumbling, "Yandy, baby, let me explain." But there was no explaining your way out of that scene. By that point, Yandy had gone from heartbroken to full-blown volcanic. Neighbors later swore they heard shouting, things crashing, and Yandy screaming, "In my bed, you disrespectful clown!" Within seconds, phones were out and cameras rolling, because this is Atlanta, where every scandal becomes community property. Within minutes, social media lit up. One grainy clip from a neighbor across the street showed flashing lights pouring from Yandy's mansion windows, paired with what sounded like a full-blown war zone. Comments exploded instantly, "Not Yandy catching them red-handed. She better not get locked up for that fool. Ashley been moving shady for months, I knew it." And though the footage was blurry, one thing was crystal clear. Yandy wasn't holding anything back. Insiders say she launched Ashley's clothes out the window, shouting for her to find another bed to betray someone in. But the real twist? Yandy had seen this coming. She'd been testing Mendeecees for weeks, hired a private investigator, checked his phone logs, even sent Ashley to check in on him while she was away just to see if they'd take the bait. Spoiler alert, they failed every test. She already knew. That night wasn't a coincidence. It was the final act of a setup so tight it came with receipts, screenshots, and even Ring cam footage showing Ashley sneaking in hours before Yandy got home. The internet went nuclear. Caught in 4K started trending on Twitter, and memes came flying faster than apologies. One viral edit showed Mendeecees photoshopped in handcuffs with the caption, "Locked up in Yandy's bed, not the feds this time." But underneath the laughter, everyone knew this wasn't just cheating, it was humiliation. Public, messy, and permanently stamped on the internet. As the night spiraled, whispers spread that someone had called the cops. Not for the fight, but because the yelling had neighbors convinced it might turn physical. When officers finally arrived, Yandy was pacing outside, fuming like a storm about to hit landfall, while Ashley sat on the curb in a blanket, mascara running, crying. Mendeecees? Nowhere to be found. Some said he bolted out the back door, others swore he was hiding in the bathroom. But either way, by the time police pulled up, the story had already gone viral. And baby, that was just Act 1. By sunrise, a private betrayal had exploded into a nationwide media circus. Everyone, from gossip blogs to major outlets, wanted answers. How deep did this go? And if you thought Yandy was finished, think again. The moment she kicked that door open, silence didn't even get a cameo. Sheets flew, screams echoed, and Mendeecees, the man who bragged about respect, looked like a kid caught stealing snacks after midnight. Ashley, meanwhile, froze, clutching a silk blanket like it was a shield against reality. "In my bed, Mendeecees?" Yandy shouted, her voice shaking the walls and probably the Wi-Fi signal too. And here's where it gets filthy, because instead of apologizing or even pretending to feel shame, Ashley actually laughed. Yep, smirked. That smug, "What are you gonna do now?" grin that can start wars and end friendships in one breath. That evil little, "What are you gonna do now?" grin could have started wars. From that split second, the scandal flipped from private heartbreak to public humiliation. Within minutes, the chaos had front row seats, thanks to a nosy neighbor who went full TMZ and started streaming the meltdown live on Instagram. The video hit 1 million views before Yandy Smith could even grab her slippers, and you already know the internet detectives clocked in for overtime. One viewer wrote, "Mendeecees ain't just cheating, he's auditioning for a new show, Love and Hip Hop, Sleeping with the Ops." Another added, "Ashley isn't scared, she's plotting the sequel." But here's the kicker, this wasn't random. Sources close to the couple claimed Ashley had been getting a little too close to Mendeecees for months. Allegedly, she was helping him with business, but that business looked a lot like candlelit dinners, secret messages, and deleted texts. Yandy's assistant, let's call her Tina, told reporters her boss had been uneasy for weeks. She kept saying something didn't feel right, Tina shared. But Mendeecees kept gaslighting her, saying she was being dramatic. Spoiler alert, she wasn't. Then the internet got its favorite gift, leaked text messages. Screenshots flooded social media showing Mendeecees texting Ashley late at night with lines like, "You make me feel alive again," and Ashley replying, "You don't have to hide who you are with me." Excuse me, hide from who? From the woman who built your brand and held you down? Fans went full FBI mode, comparing side-by-side photos of Ashley's bracelets to the same ones spotted in Mendeecees' Instagram stories. Story just a week ago, Mendeecees posted a photo captioned "Out with the homies." Turns out one of those homies was Ashley herself. And if that wasn't messy enough, Yandy's inner circle decided to take action. Her bestie Erica reportedly pulled up within minutes, armed with nothing but rage and a camera, yelling, "We're going viral today," before storming inside to back Yandy up. By the time the cops arrived, because yes, someone did call them, the house looked like the aftermath of a Love and Hip Hop reunion brawl. Lamps broken, wigs airborne, and a bottle of champagne sacrificed to the drama gods. Mendeecees tried to calm Yandy down, mumbling that it was all a misunderstanding. But come on, there's no misunderstanding when you're caught red-handed under designer sheets. Police had to separate them just to quiet the shouting. Neighbors claimed they heard Yandy scream, "I gave you everything and you gave me headaches." Total chaos. Meanwhile, fans were still glued to that viral livestream when the rumor mill hit overdrive. Some swore Ashley had filmed everything herself for clout. Others claimed she was already negotiating to sell the footage for 6 figures. And just as the internet lost its collective mind, Yandy vanished. No posts, no stories, total blackout. And you know what silence means in celebrity world. Something's about to explode. Sure enough, less than 24 hours later, an anonymous account dropped an audio file titled "The Real Tape, Yandy's Revenge." The clip allegedly caught Ashley sobbing, begging for forgiveness while Yandy's voice cut through cold. "You chose the wrong house to play in." The internet went wild. Some called it fake, others swore it was real, but honestly, at that point, truth didn't matter. The internet had already picked its side. Taken sides? Oh, absolutely. Team Yandy started trending like wildfire. Even celebs joined the digital brawl. Cardi B posted, "If I ever walk in on something like that, somebody's leaving in an ambulance." While Remy Ma dropped the mic with, "Respect yourself enough to never argue over what's already trash." But that's where the story swerved from messy to career-ending. Word on the street was that a love and hip-hop production insider leaked an email revealing the network was considering axing Mendeecees entirely. The exec's line? "His image has become too toxic for brand partnerships." Brutal. Meanwhile, Ashley's DMs were a crime scene, thousands dragging her as the side chick who stormed the empire. Sponsors ghosted. Her PR rep quit, and she had to lock her comments because homewrecker was flooding every post. Still, Mendeecees tried to act calm, hopping on Instagram Live looking like a man who hadn't slept in 3 days, mumbling about people spreading lies and private family matters. Respect, bro? The receipts were public property. And Yandy, she was just getting started. While he was scrambling for sympathy, she was quietly lawyering up. Insiders say she prepped a restraining order and divorce papers. That's when the internet detonated. By sunrise, timelines were burning. Hashtags, memes, and think pieces everywhere, all built around one word: betrayal. Yandy deserved better shot to #1 nationwide, and every outlet, from gossip blogs to late-night TV, was eating it up. Talk shows couldn't resist. Everyone had an opinion. TMZ dubbed it the most explosive love and hip-hop scandal of the decade, while the Shade Room posted a photo of Yandy Smith strutting into the courthouse with the caption, "When you turn heartbreak into strategy." Meanwhile, Mendeecees was MIA, no posts, no statements, just whispers that he was hiding at a friend's condo in Jersey. But what came next? No one saw it coming. According to anonymous legal insiders, the ones who leak half of Hollywood's chaos, Yandy wasn't just filing for divorce. Nope. She was allegedly gearing up to sue Ashley for emotional distress and unauthorized use of private property. Why? Because that bed Ashley was caught in wasn't just any bed. It was a $15,000 custom piece tied to Yandy's home brand deal. Translation: Ashley didn't just wreck a marriage. She committed brand sabotage. Wild, right? But hold up, it gets messier. Screenshots began circulating of an alleged text between Ashley and her bestie. One message read, "Girl, he told me Yandy doesn't make him feel alive anymore. I'm what he needs." Another added, "If she finds out, I'll make sure I go viral. Might as well get something out of this." So yeah, this wasn't passion. It was premeditated clout chasing. Once that dropped, the internet went savage. Even people who once defended Ashley now demanded her cancellation. One fan tweeted, "She wanted fame. Well, congrats. Now she's infamous." And just as the digital firestorm peaked, Yandy made her first move. She broke her silence with a post so cold it froze the timeline. A black background, white text. "Loyalty is rare, betrayal is expensive. I'm collecting my debt." That one-liner turned Yandy Smith's Instagram post into a digital earthquake. Over 3 million likes in just 12 hours. Celebs flooded the comments. Taraji P. Henson wrote, "Say it louder for the ones in the back," while Kandi Burruss added, "Stay classy, sis." Karma's already on the way. Meanwhile, Mendeecees tried another round of damage control, posting a half-baked video saying, "Y'all don't know the whole story." But the internet hates half-truths. Nice try, but within minutes, his comments were flooded with clown emojis and side-by-side receipts of him and Ashley. Then, boom, the internet caught fire again. A neighbor allegedly leaked security footage showing Ashley sneaking into Yandy's house earlier that night, using what looked suspiciously like Mendeecees' spare key. The caption read, "Plot twist, it wasn't a mistake, it was a setup." That clip shattered the internet. News anchors were covering it like it was Watergate 2.0, and one network even brought in a body language expert who concluded, "His posture shows guilt, shame, and panic. Classic signs of a man caught red-handed." By then, Yandy had officially gone full boss mode. Divorce filed. Restraining order locked, property claim submitted. But she wasn't done. She sat down for her first and only interview since the scandal, face calm, tone sharp. Angela Yee asked her point blank, "What went through your mind when you saw them?" Yandy, steady as ever, replied, "I realized I'd been sleeping next to a stranger, and that stranger invited another woman into my piece. That's when I decided, no more." That quote detonated across the internet. Memes, merch, TikToks, everywhere you looked, people were preaching Yandy's line like gospel. But the real bombshell? That was still on the way. At the end of that interview, Yandy Smith detonated the final bombshell. She revealed that another woman had come forward with screenshots proving Mendeecees had been messaging her too. Yep, Ashley wasn't even the only one. Cue total internet meltdown. Fans lost it, dubbing Mendeecees the community husband. Someone even slapped his face on a fake Man of Loyalty t-shirt, and it sold out in hours. Meanwhile, Love and hip-hop producers went into panic mode over the PR disaster. They swiftly suspended Mendeecees' season indefinitely and offered Yandy her own spin-off, working title, Rebuild, Life After Betrayal. And of course, she said yes. Because while Mendeecees was losing endorsements, Ashley was hemorrhaging followers, and fans were losing their collective minds. Yandy was out here cashing in, securing brand deals, speaking gigs, and a new wave of respect. Her name became shorthand for strength and self-worth. Then came the final twist. A leaked voice note, allegedly Mendeecees' private message to Yandy, surfaced online. His voice cracked as he said, "I made a mistake. You're my home, my family. I'll do anything to make it right." To which Yandy reportedly replied, "Cool as ice. You should have thought about that before you brought the mess into my house." Mic drop. The clip exploded. 20 million views in 24 hours. Fans crowned it the most iconic comeback in reality TV history. Even people who'd never watched the show were now addicted to the saga. By the week's end, Yandy had turned scandal into empire. Mendeecees was allegedly in therapy. Ashley wiped her accounts, disappeared, and rumor has it she skipped town. And just when everyone thought it was over, Yandy posted one final cryptic story. A photo of her bedroom, perfectly redone, captioned simply, "Fresh sheets. New chapter." The new caption read, "Fresh sheets, new chapter." Fans flooded the comments with queen energy, and she ended him without saying his name. This was the revenge arc nobody knew they needed. The scandal that started in one bed had shaken an entire industry, exposing fake love, fake loyalty, and the darker side of fame. But the real mystery still lingered. Who leaked that first video? Who had been filming from the very start? Rumor has it someone from Yandy Smith's own circle was cashing checks by feeding footage to the blogs. So maybe, just maybe, this story isn't finished. And that, my friends, is how one shocking night flipped Yandy's heartbreak into Hollywood history. But let's be honest, do you really think it ends here? Because if there's one thing we've learned about Yandy, Mendeecees, and Ashley, it's that the drama doesn't die. It just hides until the next bombshell drops. So tell me this. Who do you think leaked that footage? A jealous friend? A sneaky crew member? Or maybe Yandy herself playing the long game? Drop your theories below because this saga is nowhere near done. Hit that like button if you think Yandy handled it like a boss, and subscribe for more wild celebrity exposés, because the next twist in this messy love triangle might just break the internet again. Stay tuned. The real truth always comes out. It always comes out.